This Ridge wallet is sponsored by Video. You guys already know how I feel about Ridge wallet and Ridge as a company. Ridge, if you're not familiar with them, makes lifestyle products that focus on longevity and simplicity. Just functionality combined with great build quality and materials. The Ridge wallet is their most well-known product. If you're not familiar with how it works, it's basically two pieces of hard material, either like a polymer or aluminum in some cases, and they just stick together like this with an elastic band. And then you either have a cash strap or a money clip on the back to keep your cash. But it's small, it's out of the way, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your pocket, so you can fit it in your front pocket so you don't get pickpocketed from the back. Size comparison with my Galaxy S10 that's cracked on the front, and here's the Ridge wallet. I've been carrying Ridge wallets for up to 2 years now, and it's gotten to the point where it's a pretty frequent conversation starter because it has a pretty eye-catching design, and they come in a variety of different finishes, so you can actually like fit them with whatever kind of look you're trying to go for. Obviously, this is a carbon fiber finish. This would look pretty good with a tech wear kind of fit if that's your thing. If you want to get a Ridge wallet for yourself, go to ridge.com/Gregor and use the code Gregor at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. It comes with free shipping and handling, a lifetime warranty, and if you don't like it, you can return it for free too. And thanks so much to Ridge for sponsoring this video. So dudes, it's a beautiful day. I have some natural lighting, so you can see my paleness of my skin. Hope it doesn't blind you. The birds are flying away for the south because it's getting a little chilly, but you know what's not going south? Valk's win rate. And I want to talk about this one because I made a tweet about it that got some people a little bit upset, and admittedly it did a lot better than I ever thought was going to happen. And I said, pretty simply, I said, get rid of Valk's ability to throw cameras outside for the love of God. Please. Please. And might have been a little upset at the time, probably because I got run out on by a Valk on Skyscraper. And yeah, that tends to happen. I tend to tweet whenever stupid shit happens to me in ranked. Of course, it was met with pretty mixed reception. A lot of people evidently seemed to like it, but some people didn't. Some people wanted me to just get better at the game, and I'm not very good. But I do know how bad I am, and I know that me being bad at the game has very little to do with my assessment of Valkyrie as a character, because right now she has a lot of strengths, and people in a competitive scene also acknowledge Valkyrie's strengths to the point where she, as of stage 3, and this was something that I mentioned in a previous video, has like an 80% ban rate, which is ridiculous, which is way too high. That's basically an instant ban character. It was the same thing with like Mira, where you basically had a character that had an impact on the meta that was so strong that people would rather just not deal with it instead of try to strat around it, which isn't really good design. And of course, you know, hey, NAL ban rate of 80%. Here, let me not acknowledge the claim, and then he linked me a book about how to get good at video games. Regrettably, I did not link him a book on how to get better at debating, but whatever. This is something that is very controversial right now because it comes off as a claim talking about Valkyrie's cameras and her ability to throw them outside. Let's be honest, you're not really going to play those for like some kind of big brain kind of anchor hybrid setup where you're going to sit inside the building and then get an idea of how the enemies are going to approach the side. You throw them outside to get free kills on people that you have free intel on. You jump out of 1 out of 5 windows that somebody has to drone out, or you know, have the game sense to kind of be able to figure out, okay, like I heard audio here and this guy was over here, so he's probably going to jump out of this one, you know, stuff like that, right? It's not that mechanically involved, at least in my opinion. In terms of gunplay, it's not that crazy. There are plenty of other characters in the game that can't put their camera intel outside the building. Mozzie can't drive his drones outside. Echo can't drive his drones outside. Valkyrie is unique in this ability, and I think it would be one thing. I think it would be less of a source of frustration if there was a little bit of counterplay involved. But right now, the only particular counter to actually find these stupid things whenever she does throw them outside of the building is you look around for common spots, and maybe on console you might see one like on the palm tree by police line. There are some spots that you can learn through memorization, but there's so much. It's trying to find a needle in a haystack, and that seems kind of like a silly mechanic for a tac shooter. Whenever we decide not to ban Valk, we're basically relegated on some maps like Consulate to bringing an IQ. And bringing an IQ over a bunch of other operators has a lot of downsides. And Pengu was talking about IQ in his recent tier list that he uploaded today, and I thought he brought up some really good points.
You don't do vertical play with her anymore. The only good thing is that they buffed her against Vigil because you can now ping stuff. No one plays like you. Because you need 4 grenades, 2 heart breachers, soft breach, Thatcher if it's open, maybe like the one-off operator like a shield. You need Jackal sometimes. Sophia's great. Ayana's great. Finka's good now. Like, you can't play her ever. Never. Because you need all the other things.
He put Finka at A tier. I don't know what the fuck going on in Miami, bro. I don't know what's that about. Did I fuck up? Oh no. The recoil thing is still dumb. They have to get rid of that. I won't concede on this one, guys. I won't. Get rid of the recoil reduction, and she's fine. I'm not giving that one up. Sorry, Pengu. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing about these win matrices, is that on attack, and this is something that I brought up a while ago when I was watching, if you especially competitive, if you watch a lot of competitive, you pretty much see like a very standard kind of attacker setup. It's like checking boxes. There's a hard breach, some kind of utility burn with frag grenades or stuns. So like Zoph, Sledge, right? Yana, all characters that have frags or something to get rid of stuff with. And a Maverick, because Thatcher's usually banned, and you need something to open the wall with, or get rid of the stuff on the wall so that the hard breach can open it. And that's kind of it. And then you have like a wild card pick around here to kind of mix things up. That's your spice. You get your main dish, and then you get your spice. Your spice blend is the 5th pick. And that's really kind of it. And these are all util characters, right? We're looking at ranked again. Keep that in mind. And then we go to defense, and then it's gun. You know, Frostmats are okay, but, you know. Guns. Thunderbird is pretty much like the epitome of a ranked operator. Assault rifle on defense, bearing 9. Mozzie's got the Roni, gun. Jaeger still gets picked a crap ton, gun. Right? Everybody in the overpicked 2 strong category, gun. For defense. On attack, frags, hard breach, utility denial, frags. You know, Sledge is a little bit lower. Are you guys starting to figure out what I'm trying to say here? I think that Valk is... I think that some people, yes, when they get run out on by Valk, and they don't do their due diligence, and they don't drone her out, and they don't nomad it, there's lots of ways to counter Valk. And I think that there are plenty of situations where less skilled players get frustrated because the freaking Valk ran out. And yeah, sometimes you just screw up. But that doesn't mean that I don't think Valkyrie's design with her ability to throw cameras outside is not flawed. I think it is flawed because she provides something that a lot of the other characters don't have, and there's not really like a lot of conceivable. You have to, the entire attacking lineup, whenever there is a Valkyrie on the board on a map like Consulate, has to basically throw in all of their concerted efforts to just deal with one character, because she can do this. She can go like this and then peek this, right? It's annoying. It's extremely frustrating to deal with, and that's just when you're outside of the building. When you get inside of the building, Valkyrie is already still a very good character anyway, because she can do lots of interesting setups with her pistols. She can make she can place her cameras in interesting positions that nobody else would be able to, because she can make holes in soft destructible materials. You can have like a soft wall, make a hole in it, throw the camera in between that, and then it looks to the left and the right. There's lots of different interesting ways, you know. There's like pieces of furniture that she can blow open, and then throw the camera inside that. And she has C4, and she can combo her cameras with the C4. So she can do everything, not specifically as a dedicated anchor or as a dedicated roamer, but she's extremely versatile. She can take on the roles of a really aggressive roamer. She can play kind of anchor with C4 and plant denial with her cameras. And when she dies, her camera still provides something to her teammates anyway. Valkyrie has a lot of guaranteed value. And then the only way to really counter her for the throwing outside crap is with IQ. And then if you bring IQ, then you're giving up something else, right? Because IQ doesn't have frags. IQ doesn't have utility burn. She has a gun and she can see gadgets. And then maybe sometimes she'll go below and then, maybe like snipe the gadgets. Sometimes there's soft floors, but that's very site dependent. And it's just more reliable to just go, like Maverick and get the, deal with it that way. I think it's high time we start having this conversation. And I don't think we even necessarily need to get rid of Valkyrie's ability to throw cameras outside. I personally think it would be a good idea. I understand why Ubisoft wouldn't want to do it because they don't want to already piss off people who are more gun focused in this game more than they already are with a lot of the changes that have happened recently. I don't think, like for the Roni, a lot of people don't like the Roni. I don't think they should touch the Roni. I think if anything, maybe take it away from Maruni. Maybe. But I really think that problem's a little bit overstated. I think that people who have high or have good gun skill are going to use any other gun. It's going to perpetuate this cycle that we've been looking at on attackers for a while now in terms of swapping away scopes and nerfing guns. So, if we're not going to take away Valkyrie's ability to throw cameras outside, maybe we should have more options to deal with her cameras on attack. So this is my idea of an operator that you could use as an IQ alternative, or you could use this as an IQ buff. Let me know if you guys think it's trash or not. So this person has a special pair of headphones that can pick up EMF frequencies. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know if that's possible. It's just in my brain. That's what makes sense to me, okay? This person can hunt and destroy defender gadgets like Valk cams or Capcan traps. But how does this person know? Well, when they are farther away from the gadget and they activate this ability, and when they activate the headphones, it causes low kind of paused pings like boop, 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 boop. And then the closer and closer they get, boop, 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 boop. And then when they're like right on top of it, or when they're looking right at it, it's like like that. So if a gadget was here and their aiming point is like over here, like maybe they're aiming over here, they're looking this way. It's like, when they're looking at it, then it's more frequent. This person would have, I think they should, this is a gun I think they should have been recycling a long time ago. Echo's SMG for attack. It has an integral suppressor, so you can get rid of attacker gadgets without revealing where the shot came from, which is kind of cool. And it justifies its presence as a primary weapon. So it's kind of neat. ITA 12S to make so this person can function as a vertical player to a certain extent. And then hard breach gadget. And I'm kind of iffy on the breaching charges. I know that might seem a little bit busted, but that's kind of what I have in mind right now. It's either going to be that or a Claymore. We don't have an operator from Finland yet, so I just thought, okay, whatever. And then, backstory, lore, stuff like that. They're an audio person, and that's why they have headphones, and they like heavy metal music or something, So there are different pros and cons to this operator versus IQ. IQ can see gadgets with her scanner and then like snipe them. But she can see through walls. With this guy, it wouldn't work through walls. He'd have to get line of sight on them for the really, really frequent pings. But the lower pings, the more low-pitched pings, would happen on a proximity basis. So there's two elements to it. There's two elements. It's based off of proximity, and it's based off of aiming point. So one of the things that a lot of people don't like about IQ is that she has to get out her gadget and then shoot it and take her crosshair off of something in order to clear as she moves throughout the room. With this guy, you could dispatch of gadgets really quickly with a little flick, and then get your primary weapon back up on target very quickly without having to switch like from a pistol back to like an assault rifle that IQ would have. Here's the deal. I don't think Valkyrie should stay in this category forever. I think that this is one of the few instances where I will retract from my usual stance on trying to buff operators more than nerf them. I think Valk has definitely got some problems that need to be addressed. But I understand from an optics perspective that nerfing her right now, probably not the best idea. So, buff IQ, make a new operator like IQ that can do IQ's job, that actually has a place in this attacker meta, you know? Let me know what you guys think.